Point 4, develop team. Develop team is a process of improving competencies, team member interaction and the overall team environment to enhance project performance. The key benefit of this process is that it results in improved teamwork, enhanced interpersonal skills and competencies, motivated employees, reduced attrition and improved overall project performance. This process is performed throughout the project. Project managers require the skills to identify, build, maintain, motivate, lead and inspire project teams to achieve high team performance and to meet the project's objectives. Teamwork is a critical factor for project success, and developing effective project teams is one of the primary responsibilities of the project manager. Project managers should create an environment that facilitates teamwork and continually motivates the team by providing challenges and opportunities, providing timely feedback and support as needed, and recognising and rewarding good performance. And that's from the PMBOK Guide, page 336. Why do we want to motivate team members? Because if we motivate them as individuals, it will help them to integrate better with the team and function better as members of the team. Well, why do we want to get people to function as a team? Because a well-functioning team can achieve much more than a group of people working as individuals can. There will always be good individual behaviours in a team, such as creativity, spontaneous leadership and so on. I'm not saying that we should remove those or reduce them. All I'm trying to do is, as a project manager, is to motivate these individuals so that they can function well and then motivate as a team and so they can achieve a high output without high burnout, but again without dampening those individual creative abilities and things which really make up those individuals. The PMBOK Guide tells us that high team performance can be achieved by employing the following behaviours. Using open and effective communication. Effective communication includes active listening, which I'll cover later. Creating team building opportunities, developing trust among team members, managing conflicts in a constructive manner, encouraging collaborative problem solving and encouraging collaborative decision making. Team members in a global environment often have diverse backgrounds, education, training and history experience. Sometimes they communicate in multiple languages. The project management team should capitalise on cultural differences, focus on developing and sustaining the project team throughout the project lifecycle and promote working together independently in a climate of mutual trust. Developing the project team improves the people skills, technical competencies and overall team environment and project performance. It requires clear, timely, effective and efficient communications between team members throughout the life of the project. As an example of this, one of the project managers that I was mentoring recently, and in case you didn't know it, the PMI Code of Ethics requires us to mentor people who are still learning. I will call her Sally, which of course is not a real name. She told me that she was having a language problem on her project in New Zealand. Her project had already been running for 2 months before she took over. About half of her team were native English speakers. The others spoke English as a second or third language, but English was the accepted language in the company. However, 2 team members who were not proficient in English, they spoke English to the other team members, but most of the time, especially when working together, they spoke in Cantonese. This upset one of the senior managers and he scolded them every time he heard them. But when Sally took over as project manager, although she spoke English well, she told her team that her first language was Cantonese. And so these 2 members, when they spoke to her alone, they spoke to her in Cantonese as well. But this really upset the manager who overheard them talking to her, and now he scolded Sally and arranged a meeting for her later in the week. And this is when she contacted me for advice. I suggested that she should say that her main responsibility was to the organisation and to deliver the project on time, within budget and to scope, and to keep the customers happy. And to do that, she would need to keep a tight control on risk management. Her other main priority was to motivate her team as individuals as well as a team to make sure that everyone is working well and there's no misunderstandings. If the two Cantonese team members, who were highly skilled technically, could not communicate well in English, then forcing them to use a language other than Cantonese would reduce their motivation and productivity, which would negatively impact the team and hence the project and ultimately the whole organisation. But letting them communicate with her and with each other in their native language would greatly reduce all of these risks, and the organisation could pay for them to get language tuition in English. I also told her to add the risks to the risk management plan, recording risk case as two team members not allowed to communicate in an efficient language, then record the risk treatment as accept and record the likelihood as high and the impact as high, and write the manager's name as a risk owner. She went into the meeting and she had memorised all that I told her, but she was so nervous at the time she forgot it, and she read it out. And when she asked him to sign the entry in the risk management plan, he asked her to remove the entry, and he said that the two employees had his permission to communicate in Cantonese on the condition that they attended English language courses in their own time, but the company would pay for the courses. As well as natural languages, all teams have their own team language, and you may see that on the exam. This does not mean a spoken language, it just means that the team develops its own culture. What are the objectives of developing a project team? Well, improving the knowledge and skills of team members to increase their ability to complete project deliverables while lowering costs, reducing schedules and improving quality. Improving feelings of trust and agreement among team members to raise morale, lower conflict and increase teamwork. Creating a dynamic, cohesive and collaborative team culture to improve individual and team productivity, team spirit and cooperation, and allow cross-training and mentoring between team members to share knowledge and expertise, and empowering the team to participate in decision making and take ownership of the provided solutions to improve team productivity for more efficient and effective results. One of the models used to describe team development is the Tuckman letter, and there's a good chance you'll see this in the exam, which includes 5 stages of development that teams may go through. Although it is common for these stages to occur in order, it is not uncommon for a team to get stuck in a particular stage or even regress to earlier stages. Projects with team members who worked together in the past might skip a stage because they quickly slip back into the team's particular team language. So let's start climbing Tuckman's the team development ladder. This is often asked in the exam. You might be asked what the 5 steps are. You might have to put them in the right order or fill in a missing step, or you might have to pick Tuckman's ladder as a team development tool. And they've been chosen to rhyme, by the way, which makes them to me seem a bit silly, but at least it makes them easier to remember. The first step is forming. This phase is where the team members meet and learn about the project and their formal roles and responsibilities for the first time. Team members tend to be independent and not as open in this phase until they get used to working together. Number 2 is storming. During this phase, the team begins to address the project work, technical decisions and the project management approach. If team members are not collaborative or open to different ideas and perspective, the environment may become counterproductive. Next one is norming. In this phase, team members begin to work together and adjust their work habits and behaviours to support the team. Team members learn to trust each other. Next is performing. Teams that reach the performing stage function as a well-organised unit. They are interdependent and work through issues smoothly and effective. The next one is adjourning. In this phase, the team completes the work and moves on from the project. This typically occurs when the staff is released from the project as deliverables are completed or as part of the closed project or closed phase process. The duration of a particular stage depends on team dynamics, team size and team leadership. Project managers should have a good understanding of team dynamics in order to move their team members through all stages in an effective manner. I would strongly recommend attending a course on this topic. Develop team inputs. Input number 1, project management plan. Project management plan component required for the develop your team is the resource management plan, which will provide guidance on providing project team members rewards, feedbacks, additional training and disciplinary actions as a result of team performance assessments and other forms of project team management. It might also include the team performance assessment criteria. Input number 2, project documents. Documents we might be interested in would include the lessons learned register. Lessons learned earlier in the project with regard to developing the team can be applied to later phases in the project to improve team performance. The project schedule. Project schedule defines how and when to provide training to the project team and develop the competencies required at different phases. It identifies the need for team development strategies based on variations, if any, during the project execution. Project team assignments. The assignments identify the need and member roles and responsibilities. Resource calendars identify times when the project team members can participate in team development activities. It also helps illustrate team availability during the entire project. Team charter. A team charter is where the team operating guidelines are documented. The team values and operating guidelines provide the structure that describes how the team will operate together. This is not the same as the team language, but it is related to it. Input number 3, environmental enterprise factors. The ones included in this process would be human resource management policies regarding hiring and termination, employee performance reviews, employee development and training records, and recognition and rewards. Team member skills, competencies and specialised knowledge and geographic distribution of team members. Input number 4, organisational process assets, and really all we're looking for here is historical information and the lessons learned repository. Develop team tools and techniques. Tools and techniques, number 1, co-location. Co-location involves placing many or all of the same active project team members in the same physical location to enhance their ability to perform as a team. Co-location can be temporary, such as strategically important times during the project, or can continue for the entire project. Co-location strategies can include a team meeting room, common places to post schedules, and other conveniences that enhance communication and a sense of community. On one of my projects, for 1 week we relocated to a hotel on a holiday island, and surprisingly we actually did a lot of work. You should suggest that to your manager as well. Tools and techniques, number 2, virtual teams. I mentioned this one earlier. Use of virtual teams can bring benefits such as the use of more skilled resources, reduced costs, less travel and relocation expenses, and the proximity of team members to suppliers, customers or other team stakeholders. Virtual teams can use technology to create an online team environment where the team can store files, use conversation threads to discuss issues and keep a team calendar. Tools and techniques, number 3, communication technology. This is important in addressing the team development issues in co-located and virtual teams. It helps build a harmonious environment for the co-located team and a better understanding for the virtual team, especially those working in different time zones. Now, I know you're probably thinking, why do you need communication technology if you're all working together? The answer is, I don't know, but PMI thinks it's a good idea. Actually, a couple of years ago, a person at the very next desk to mine kept sending me emails. I could never understand that. Hi Jim, are you going to the staff lunch tomorrow? I mean, I could reach out and touch this person, and I would turn around and say, yes, I'm going. Moments later, an email would pop up. Great, see you there. I'm surprised he didn't email me on his phone during the lunch. Examples of communication technology that may be used are shared portal, a shared repository for information sharing, e.g. a website, collaborative software or internet, is effective for virtual project teams. Video conferencing, this is a great one of course. It's an improved technique for effective communication with virtual teams, and it's useful because you pick up a bit of the body language as well, which is pretty good. Audio conferencing, communication with a team using audio conferencing It's just another technique to build rapport and confidence with virtual teams. Email or chat. Regular communication using email and chat are also an effective technique. Remember that email is a delayed technique, whereas chats are real time. Tools and techniques number 4, interpersonal and team skills. Skills we're looking at here are conflict management. The project manager needs to resolve conflict in a timely manner and in a constructive way in order to achieve a high-performing team. Influencing. Good skill used in this process is gathering relevant and critical information to address important issues and reach agreements while maintaining mutual trust. Motivation is providing a reason for someone to act. Teams are motivated by empowering them to participate in decision making and encourage them to work independently and always keep them with knowledge of the big vision for the project as well. Negotiation among team members is used to reach consensus on project needs. Negotiation can build trust and harmony among the team members. Team building is conducting activities that enhance the team's social relations and build a collaborative and cooperative working environment. Team building activities can vary from 5-minute agenda item and a status review meeting to an off-site professionally facilitated event designed to improve interpersonal relationships. The objective of team building activities is to build individual team members and help them work together effectively. Team building strategies are particularly valuable when team members operate from remote locations without the benefit of face-to-face contact. Informal communication and activities can help in building trust and establishing good work relationships. While team building is essential during the initial stages of the project, it should be a continuous process. Changes in a project environment are inevitable, and to manage them effectively, a continuous or renewed team building effort may be applied. The project manager should continually monitor the functionality and performance to determine if any actions are needed to prevent or correct various team problems. Tools and technique number 5, recognition and rewards. Part of a team development process involves recognizing and rewarding desirable behaviour. The original plan for rewarding people is developed during the plan resources management process. Rewards can be effective only if they satisfy a need that is valued by an individual. Reward decisions are made formally or informally during the process of managing the project team. As project manager, you're responsible for team rewards, but PMI doesn't believe that monetary rewards are a good motivator. And you'll find that the managers in most organisations agree that monetary rewards are a poor motivator, which is why senior managers are paid less than other employees. No, wait a minute. However, as a project manager, you won't have the power to hand out cash incentives. People are motivated when they feel they are valued in the organisation, and this value is demonstrated by rewards given to them. A simple thank you and a few kind words can work well, and it's usually highly valued, but as long as it doesn't look artificial. If it is outstanding work, you might have a team lunch to recognise them officially. You might be able to offer other rewards such as a desk by a window, the use of your car park for a few days a week, or whatever else is within your power to offer. Cultural differences should be considered when determining recognition rewards. For example, a vegetarian may not view lunch at a steakhouse as a reward. Likewise, many people are from cultures that prohibit alcohol, so you need to be sensitive. Most project team members are motivated by an opportunity to grow, accomplish, be appreciated and apply their professional skills to meet new challenges. And so offering people harder activities can actually motivate them. Do you remember back to grade school being rewarded by being allowed to clean the blackboard or fetch teachers' coffee? Some of us kids would have fought for that opportunity. In fact, some of us kids were beaten up by other kids because we got that opportunity. A good strategy for project managers is to give the team recognition throughout the life cycle of the project rather than wait until the project is completed. But make sure that it is actually earned, and it's a good idea to see that no one misses out. Everybody does something good that can be complimented. Good job, George. You broke half the windows you installed this week. That's a big improvement on previous weeks. Everybody does something which can be acknowledged. Tools and techniques number 6, training. Training includes all activities designed to enhance the competencies of the project team members and can be formal or informal. Examples of training methods include classroom, online, and within online there is online text-based, multimedia or instructor-led video, such as this one, computer-based on-the-job training from another project team member, coaching and mentoring. What's the difference between coaching and mentoring? Many of the required skills are the same, but coaching is usually short-term and usually for a particular activity or situation. And once the person has mastered the skills or the activity or situation has ended, the coach is no longer needed. Mentoring, on the other hand, is usually long-term and not necessarily related to a single situation. The mentor is working to help the person develop as a person as well as to develop skills. I mentor a lot of people at many levels, usually for a year or two, but I've been mentoring one person for over 10 years and seen them grow from junior employee to senior manager, and that's really a satisfying thing when you see that happen. If project team members lack the necessary management or technical skills, the skills may be developed as part of the project work and the training allocated with the other project activities on the work schedule. But of course, they must be added by raising a change request to the integrated change control system. One of the traps to avoid is that even if the training is not in a formal classroom setting, it still takes time and resources and should still be reflected in the schedule and resource management plan. Unplanned training takes place as a result of observation, conversation and project performance appraisals conducted during the management of the project team. Training costs could be included in the project budget, or if the added skills will be useful for future projects, then they may be supported and paid for by the performing organisation rather than the project budget, or maybe the project budget may pay a percentage of the training costs. Formal training may be performed by in-house or external trainers. Tools and techniques number 7, individual and team assessments. Individual and team assessment tools give the project manager and the project team insight into areas of strengths and weaknesses. These tools help project managers assess team members' preferences, aspirations, how they process and organise information, and how they make decisions and how they interact with other people. Various tools are available, such as attitudinal surveys, specific assessments, structured interviews, ability tests and focus groups. These tools can provide improved understanding, trust, commitment and communications among team members and facilitate more productive teams throughout the project. Tools and techniques number 8, meetings. Meetings are used to discuss and address pertinent topics for developing the team. Attendees include the project manager, the project team. Types of meetings would include project orientation meetings, team building meetings and team development meetings. Develop team outputs. Output number 1, team performance assessments. As project team development efforts such as training, team building and co-location are implemented, the project management team makes formal or informal assessments of the project team's efficiencies. Effective team development strategies and activities are expected to increase the team's performance, which increases the likelihood of meeting project objectives. The evaluation of a team's effectiveness may include indicators such as improvements in skills that allow individuals to perform assignments more effectively, improvements in competencies that help team members perform better as a team, reduce staff turnover rate, and increase team cohesiveness where team members share information and experiences openly and help each other to improve the overall project performance. As a result of conducting an evaluation of a team's overall performance, the project management team, not just the project manager, can identify specific training, coaching, mentoring assistance or changes required to improve the team's performance. This should also include identifying the appropriate or required resources necessary to achieve and implement the improvements identified in the assessment. Output number 2, change requests. If change requests occur as a result of carrying out the developed team process, or if recommended corrective or preventative actions impact any of the components of the project management plan or project documents, the project manager needs to submit a change request and follow the Perform integrated change control process. Please remember, for the exam, there are 33 project documents. They are used by the project, but they're not included in the project management plan. The project management plan or project plan is not just a schedule, it is a collection of 18 plans and baselines, including the project schedule as a baseline, and also the project life cycle and the project approach. Output number 3, project management plan updates. Any change to the project management plan goes to the organisation's change control process via a change request. The main component that may require a change request is the resource management plan. Output number 4, project document updates. Project documents that may be updated as a result of carrying out this process would include Lessons Learned Register. The Lessons Learned Register is updated with information on challenges encountered and how they could have been avoided, as well as approaches that work well for the development team. I tend to record approaches which didn't work well also. Project schedule. Activities to develop the project team may result in changes to the project schedule. For example, you might add a team building afternoon. Project team assignments. Where team development results in changes to agreed upon assignments, these changes are recorded in the project team assignments documentation. Resource calendars. These are updated to reflect the availability of resources for the project, which might change if you've got people off on team building exercises, etc. Team charter. The team charter may be updated to reflect changes to agreed upon team operating guidelines that result from team development. As I said before, the team charter is a formally agreed approach to working together. The team language is informal, and while there could be similarities, the team language and team charter are not the same thing. Output number 5, enterprise environmental factor updates. These would include employee development plan records and skill assessments. Output number 6, organisational process assets updates. Organisational process assets that are updated as a result of the developed team process include team requirements and personnel assessment. And that brings us to the end of developed team. Next lesson is 9.5, manage team. Please read the corresponding chapter in the PMBOK guide before watching the video. It's a team building exercise.